All right, autonomic nervous system, part 1 of 4 parts. So, autonomic nervous system is going to hit smooth and cardiac muscle and glands. So just remember that part. That is really important. I'm not even talking about for a test question per se, just to make sure that you understand. ANS is going to hit smooth, cardiac muscle, and glands. So when we compare the autonomic nervous system to the somatic nervous system, we'll see that they're going to differ in 3 different ways. The effectors, or the target organs, the efferent pathways, and the target organ responses. So we're just going to do kind of a quick comparison. So the somatic nervous system, of course, are just skeletal muscles. We've already covered this. Effectors of the ANS, cardiac muscle, smooth muscle, and glands. So I'm just going to back up 1 slide. So that takes care of this. So we're going to cover efferent pathways next. So for the efferent pathways, we have 1 axon that's heavily myelinated that runs from the CNS to the skeletal muscle, okay, for this somatic nervous system. When we get to the ANS, we see that we have a 2-neuron chain. We have a preganglionic neuron that's lightly myelinated, and we have a ganglionic neuron that will extend to that effector organ, which would be smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, or a gland. So the ganglionic is the 2nd neuron, but keep in mind we will be talking about a postganglionic axon. Okay, so that's just going to be the axon of this 2nd neuron. So that's the efferent pathways. I'm going to back up. That takes care of this. So now what we're left with are the target organ responses. All right, somatic motor. The neurotransmitter is acetylcholine, and it's going to have an excitatory effect, right? If we're sending a signal to skeletal muscle, we want it to contract. So that's pretty straightforward. In the autonomic nervous system, right, we're going to have 2 fibers. We're going to have our preganglionic. Here's the soma or ganglion of our 2nd neuron. And then here's our target organ. So we're having neurotransmitters released here, neurotransmitters released here. So all preganglionic fibers, we know that we are going to be releasing acetylcholine. Postganglionic fibers, they're either going to be releasing norepinephrine or acetylcholine. The effect is either going to be stimulatory or inhibitory, and that really depends on the neurotransmitter and the receptor, right? We're going to have receptors here for that neurotransmitter. We're going to have receptors here for this neurotransmitter. I think it's the next part, I have a blank slide, and I'm going to draw this out as we add more and more information. And so we end just with this. So here's this somatic, 1 neuron, and it releases ACH, and the effect is going to be stimulatory to skeletal muscle. Autonomic nervous system, we're going to have 2 divisions, sympathetic and parasympathetic. So we're going to have a preganglionic neuron, which we see all releases acetylcholine. Our postganglionic neuron can release either acetylcholine or norepinephrine. And like I said, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. We're first going to really talk about what the difference is between sympathetic and parasympathetic, and then talk about how they differ in their architecture, how they differ in their structure. And that's it for part 1.